Hey, I'm fired up to be with you on this edition of the Lakers Report, but what is going on? My goodness, it's another L in the column, and you gotta let me know in the comments, where are you at? What's the panic level after another loss, and this one to the Chicago Bulls? Let me know in the comments, scale it 1 to 10, and we've got a lot to talk about. Let's do it next on this edition of the Lakers Report. Welcome in. When it rains, it pours. It seems like this Lakers team, ever since winning that in-season tournament title, has forgotten how to play basketball. Another loss. Welcome into the Lakers Report. I'm your host, Jake Riepma. 124 to 108 to the lowly Chicago Bulls. Are you kidding me? And I know this game was on the road in Chicago, but again, this Bulls team is terrible. Take a look at some of the stats and takeaways from this game against the Bulls. LeBron, an assist away from a triple-double, 25 and 10 with 9 assists. You can't blame too much on him. Anthony Davis had another double-double, 19 and 14. And Austin Reaves was a bright spot off the bench. We'll talk a little bit more about his impact on this Lakers team, but the Bulls were able to torch the Lakers, led by DeMar DeRozan, 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists. They also didn't have an answer for Coby White, who was extremely efficient, 3 of 6 from the long line. And Alex Caruso, talk about a guy that was sticking it to his former team. He was a plus 15 with 15 points, and you got to be impressed with the performance that he had. But all told, 124 to 108, and the L's continue to pile up. Here's what Anthony Davis had to say about it, and these comments should hit home for Lakers fans. He said, "There's no break coming. There's no help coming. There's no cavalry. We've got to do it within this locker room. We've got everyone back now. We just got to find a way to get in the win column," and that's Anthony Davis talking about the inability of this Lakers team to compile some W's after that in-season tournament title. And I'll admit, hand up, I'm also as frustrated as Anthony Davis. As you look at it, 4 of 5 since that in-season tournament, the Lakers have lost. And right now, if the season ended today, which I know it doesn't, thankfully, the Lakers would be in 8th seed. And this team had much higher expectations and continue to have higher expectations than what they've been putting forth and the effort that they've been putting forth in their last 5 games. Now, I said there was one bright spot, and that was Austin Reaves. 21 points, 9 of 14 shooting, and 2 of 5 from the long line in 28 minutes playing. But this Lakers team is getting closer and closer to full strength, and you would expect the performance on the floor to mirror what this team is capable of, and 4 losses in their last 5 games is certainly a scary thought. Now, I want you to be honest with me because I've given you my thoughts, my feelings, but are you concerned about this Lakers team? Because like I mentioned, they're starting to get fully equipped and back to full strength, yet the performance on the floor is not reflecting that of a legitimate contender. So let me know in the comments. If you're concerned, type Y for yes. And if you think, relax, Riepma, it's December. There's a lot of basketball to be played, and things will continue to shake out. Go ahead and type N in the comments for me. All right. Like I've been telling you throughout the course of this video, my concern level's going up and up and up. I'm not quite ready to panic like we talked about in the open, but I'm moderately concerned because I think you've got this team that is starting to find its nucleus of players in terms of availability and those that are healthy, yet the performance and the output isn't matching what this team is capable of on paper. And I think there's a lot of different directions to point to, one of them being the coaching, one of them being the leaders of the team with LeBron and Anthony Davis, and some being the role players. You want to see each component of this Lakers team hit their stride at the right time, and it is certainly not now. They've lost 4 of 5, like I mentioned, and probably even a bigger concern of that is just the lack of continuity amongst those wearing the purple and gold. Now, I've been saying that the Lakers are getting back to full strength. This was Gabe Vincent's first game back, so we'll talk a little bit about his return and the impact that he can have on this Lakers team. But first, I got to tell you about Prize Picks, today's presenting sponsor. You got to go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. That's where the magic happens, including a $100 deposit match for you. And what's also really exciting about Prize Picks is the 12 Days of Pixmas. It's a new promo each day leading up to Christmas. You've also got the Demons and Goblins. How about that? It's brand new from Prize Picks. You can make it easier or harder to win up to 100 times your money with the Demons. But, of course, they're a little bit wild and statistically more difficult to win. But either way, prizepicks.com/CLNS is where you got to go. And here's what I'm working with for tonight's game. Anthony Davis, a big bounce-back spot for AD. I'm picking more than 27.5 points. And on the other side of things, I know Karl-Anthony Towns has been having a heck of a year, but I'm picking less on his projected point total. And Rudy Gobert, I'll go ahead and take the less there as well. So don't let me down, Lakers. And, hey, if you want to have some fun, you can join me. If you say, Reba, you don't know what you're talking about, go ahead and fade me. But either way, prizepicks.com/CLNS is where you've got to go. And because we love you and we care about you, we'll put that link right in the description of today's video. So if you didn't hear a word I said, that doesn't matter because we're putting it in the comments of today's video. It's prizepicks.com/CLNS for up to a $100 deposit match. All right, let's talk a little Gabe Vincent. His first game back and one of those role players that this Lakers team is counting on to be an impactful player on both sides of the floor and one of those role players that is capable of providing this team with a little bit of a boost. Now, I'm going to, press the relax button a little bit, as they say. It's just his first game back. He only played 14 minutes in the action, but over the course of those 14 minutes, he was minus 12 altogether. And I know plus and minus isn't everything, but when he was on the floor, the Lakers were down 12 overall in just 14 minutes. So not great in a small sample size. They had the 3 points on in his first game back. Here's what Gabe Vincent himself had to say. It felt better as the game went on, for sure. As we got warm, as we got up and down, my wind got a little better, getting that first wind out. I started to find a little rhythm out on the court with the guys. That's Gabe Vincent on his return. And I've always said, basketball shape, there's no way to perfectly practice or get ready and get back into basketball shape other than playing. So this is going to take some time. And I'm telling this myself as much as I'm telling you or anybody tuning in that be a little bit patient with Gabe Vincent. I do think he's going to be a guy that can help this Lakers team down the stretch. And albeit we didn't see it in game number 1 in his return against the Bulls, perhaps we'll see it as the season progresses and he continues to get more and more playing time and, of course, more and more of his legs underneath him and in just better basketball shape all around. Now, of course, that has to do with playing more, and that Lakers rotation is still kind of a work in progress. Check out what Darvin Ham had to say about the rotation in terms of having that full strength back in the Lakers lineup. Darvin Ham said, just trying to allow Gabe to get back out there, get his feet wet a little bit. We'll continue to investigate ourselves, try to look at the film, look at different segments, what the numbers are saying, and land on a good place where we have more consistency. And I think that's a huge, important word, and I should put it in all caps so it just grabs your attention. Consistency, consistency, consistency. I believe that's what this Lakers team is lacking, and hopefully they'll be able to develop some continuity and consistency now being back at full strength because, let's be honest, 4 out of 5, that ain't going to cut it, and you hate to stack up L's, even though it is early in the season in December, but the standard of play needs to be raised and the level of play needs to be raised by guys like LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and, of course, the leaders of this team. Austin Reaves has been really good. But the point being, this Lakers team is certainly capable of more. And the next game begins with a game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. But that game will be played without LeBron James. This coming into the news wire, 4-time NBA champion LeBron James will miss the Los Angeles Lakers game at Minnesota on Thursday with tendonitis in his left ankle. So it's something we'll continue to monitor and make sure the King James, is able to, if needed, take as much time and then get back to full strength. But the tendonitis in the ankle, certainly something that we'll be monitoring here on the Lakers Report as we continue on. Now, we always show love to our guy because he's LeBron James. So go ahead and do so now. Type 23 in the comments, even though the Lakers will be without LeBron against the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's still our guy, and 21 years in the league, and he's still putting up numbers. It's insane what LeBron James is able to do in a consistent night in and night out. Want to thank everybody for tuning in to this edition of the Lakers Report. Shout out to Jack on the ones and twos. And as always, it's a pleasure to be on the air with you for the Lakers Report. And we'll see you next time on the Lakers Report.